Hey YouTube, what's up? Dr. T here from St. Petersburg, Florida. Here part 3 of Hyperloop CEO Rob Lloyd's presentation at the 2017 Singularity University Global Summit. And you're looking at the pod competition.
So once we're ready to launch, we're ready to launch.
Okay guys, so we are ready. 3, 2, 1, launch.
The impact on this, where we have spent a lot of time, is obviously in the Middle East. There isn't rail infrastructure generally in the Middle East. There is a reputation for going first and doing spectacular things in Dubai and in the United Arab Emirates. But if you have been to the United Arab Emirates and you have seen this fantastic highway they built between Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and you go really fast, you drive almost as fast as you really feel comfortable driving. It's kind of an hour and a half to 2 hour drive now, and we can turn that into 12 minutes. It's these distances. Look at the distances between these major cities. That is the GCC. And there'd be nothing more than an hour apart anywhere in the GCC between two cities, between Riyadh and Mecca, between Doha in Qatar and in Abu Dhabi is 17 minutes. These are transformational impacts on a region that is shifting from their dependency on a petroeconomy to wanting to build a manufacturing economy, and infrastructure and transportation is part of doing that. And then let's take a look at the United States, where I wasn't as optimistic, I wasn't as enthusiastic. I thought this is going to happen somewhere else, where people care about public transportation, where governments are part of solving that problem. But when you could cover 80% of the US population and the vast majority of goods movement aligning with existing right-of-ways that are in place in this country, from building the rail and highway system over the decades that have gone before us, but which have not been maintained at the level that they need to be. And why don't we, instead of making a faster high-speed rail, why don't we leapfrog that and have something 3 times more efficient, much faster, made in the United States, and actually requiring a much smaller footprint than any rail system needs today. And so anywhere in the US in 5 hours. And the LA, San Francisco thing, it gets the one that Elon Musk, that got him to open source this whole idea. I tell you, if you look at that Dallas and Texas corridor, if you look at what's happening in the Northeast, this is a huge opportunity for this country. By the way, we're not going to start off by building a 1,700-mile Hyperloop. We'll start off with the first link in a major hub between here and here, and then continue that in building out a global network. That vision could be built in 20 years. That vision would provide potentially for this country the most modern infrastructure for the movement of goods and people in the world. So, all sounds cool. It's a bit of a moonshot. And is it really happening? And actually, I was, and I have continued to be struck by not only the smartness of the 280 people that have joined this team, PhDs and masters of engineering from multiple disciplines from around the world. We have a really cool place in downtown LA that was like, literally when I showed up, the taxi driver wouldn't take me to the end of the street in the art district because he was afraid that bad things would happen. And it is now part of a massively growing part of downtown Los Angeles. People from companies, including the ones we just heard with the previous speaker. A track record of delivering against engineering milestones. 2015, when I joined, was the year of validating the physics and engineering. We built systems to test and validate. 2016 was the year of testing the components, You saw that sand spray up on that open air test. That was testing the linear electric motor. There's been other specific tests of components. And 2017 has been the year of validating that the Hyperloop architecture and the way in which we've implemented it actually works. And now we're moving from what we announced 2 or 3 weeks ago, but the fact that this technology works, it's delivering, it moves really quickly. We're actually going to go to the next step. An innovation campus in Los Angeles, 75,000 square feet, 5 acres, around 200 people, really some of the coolest, smartest people. I just feel smart by just standing around them, and they're just so committed to making this happen. 100,000 square foot manufacturing facility in North Las Vegas so we could manufacture and build the IP to actually scale this around the world. A development site, and that's a picture of something that we've built on a Bureau of Land Management, a transportation corridor in North Las Vegas in an Apex Industrial Park. That's a 500-meter, 200-ton steel tube on concrete pylons, Nevada State substation just out of range at the bottom of that picture. And everything you see in that picture was built in 10 months. And it's a full Hyperloop system. And usually it takes us 10 months to have a meeting with a government official and get someone to set up the meeting notes, right? And this is absolutely possible. And oh, by the way, the state of Nevada was all over this, and they got things to happen, and they made things happen. And when governments get behind a big idea, they can happen. And it isn't that their view is, their general posture is we should be obstructionist. But when a state government or a national government really wants this to happen, it will happen. And we've proved that in Las Vegas. Just a couple of weeks ago, we rolled out the idea of our first pod. It was kind of, for us, pretty exciting. It's a carbon fiber and aluminum structure that actually sits on top of what you'd think of almost as equivalent to a Formula One race chassis. And we demonstrated to the world that this team could deliver and build the proof of concept that Hyperloop actually works. So if it's okay, I'm going to end by just showing you what makes me very proud to be part of a group of people that have done something in 10 months, and everything you'll see in the next 1 minute occurred in 10 months, and I think absolutely proves that exponential thinking is alive and kicking all over the world. So let's take a look.
All right, all parties ready for tests? Firing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fire.
So I hope you're enjoying my Hyperloop series. Subscribe and you will get up to the minute, up to date action from whatever's going on in this area. One-stop shopping at this channel. Subscribe and you don't have to wander around anymore. So with that, we'll see you next time.